What's up, guys? New York Muscle Radio After Hours Show, episode 2. Episode number 2. It's your host, Anthony Bevilacqua. Wait, I could do this. Anthony Bevilacqua, and my co-host, Big P. Kacharian. There he is. What's up, big guy?
We are here, man. And yes, we're doing episode number 2 live. And I'm excited for this one because we had a lot of fun last time. And I hope we get as many people again that join and ask questions. I like the whole live Q&A thing. It keeps things fresh and interesting.
Yeah, the After Hours Show is definitely picking up some steam, man, and I'm just super excited for it. So if any of you guys listening to this right now, you guys can get a free 12-week program. Head on over to newyorkmuscleradio.com/getjacked for our free 12-week training program. Again, it's a free program, so if you're not sure how to train, not sure what to do when it comes to training, how you should be periodizing your program, just head on over to newyorkmuscleradio.com/getjacked and pick up that program today. It's a great program. And again, absolutely free.
Yep. And you want to tell them about the special sale we got going on for the special day or the special week or even the special month, I should say, right?
Yeah, I'm not excited about it, but it's my Dirty 30 birthday. I'm going to be turning 30 in 8 days. I'm going to be 30 on the 30th, which is actually pretty funny, but too bad it's a Tuesday. It kind of sucks. It says during the week, so it kind of sucks. But for my Dirty 30, I'm going to extend that blessing of a birthday to all of you guys and give you everyone 30% off our entire New York Muscle Radio store. 30% off. If you guys are thinking about trying a product, if you guys are thinking about getting a course, a program, even coaching, head on over there to newyorkmuscleradio.com and use the coupon code DIRTY30 and you'll get 30% off the entire store. Cool, right, man? See how generous I am on my birthday?
That is definitely the biggest sale we've ever run. And, it's one of those things where we're just giving back again. I like to do that.
So let's shout out. We'll start with Elena. Elena is saying grandpa status for my 30th birthday, but it's a special shout out to her because it's her birthday today.
That's true, actually. Yes. She's not quite 30, but she's getting there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how old she is. Do you want to? You're not supposed to say, but do you want to mention it?
I don't know if she wants to say how old she is. She can. That's up to her. I'm not gonna.
So happy birthday and a shout out to Elena. So happy birthday there to you as well. So man, let's get started with the show. You want to start with the shout outs today, man? It's been a little bit since we did the shout outs portion of this podcast. And how about you pull up Instagram and I'll go on Facebook here and I'll pull up the Facebook likes and we'll start shouting them out. It's been a while since we did this. We did this on the last one, but it's a missed segment of our podcast.
Yeah, and as we're going through these, anybody who's listening right now, if you guys want to start asking some questions, just go ahead and throw them in the chat, and we'll get to your Q&As right after this.
Yeah, so my dog is sticking her head in the garbage. Sadie, this is what happens when you go live. Dog sticks her head in the garbage. All right, come on, Facebook, if it loads. It's going to be on you, man. My session expired on here.
All right, so let me I'm pulling up Instagram right now, and it's been quite a while.
Actually, I got it. It's working now.
On here.
Oh, Elena says, all I know is I'm not 30 yet. Thanks, though. So, special shout out to
her. That's as much as she wants to admit.
But she's almost there. And one day you will be 30, Elena. And one day you will say, you know what? I am a grandma now. And you will know. All right, so let's get this rolling. So we got John Greenwald, Danny Suarez, Ari Gronich, Salman Lakini, Nick Reed, Hermino HF Performance Franco, Kylie Reagan, Heather Danielle Reed, Brandy Ann Totten. Here, you can go ahead and finish on Instagram.
All right, and then on Instagram we get, I'm just going to go with the handles over here, but actually, no, if they have their name listed, I'll say it. So shout out to Dana D. Paula. Shout out to Angie Vela Fitness, Pro Fitness Model. Stronger _ Sarah 2188. And let's give a shout out to, let me make sure who this is. Someone who owns a cake making business like us. So we'll give a shout out to Tilly Makes Cake. We'll show them some support since they're supporting us as well. And Emily Wise Fit, top 5 NPC national bikini competitor. And Flexors One, unlock your hip flexors. I might need to hit them up. Yes, I might need to contact them.
Hey, listen, what can you do, right? All right, so man, we're excited. Episode number 2 here, but I actually want to play something cool. We're gonna bring back the New York Muscle Radio soundbite that we had. We used to do the trending topics. Now, hopefully, this thing didn't. Of course, it did. Reset. Man, see, this is what happens when things go live. Everything that fucks up.
It's all right. Just go with the flow. It's no pressure podcast. You know, it's not live. We'll let it flow as the way it is.
Hold on, I'm just letting it pull up. So, man, what's going on?
We actually got a question. Can you pull up the questions right now in the meantime?
No.
I don't want to keep the people waiting.
Yeah, don't worry. They can hold off a little bit. All right, so let's listen to today's soundbite. I'm sure you've all heard. What are you laughing at, man?
He's just a dick.
I'm on my dick. I'm in the middle of something. You're trying to cut me off.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm sure everyone has seen this guy, Robert Frank. You know who he is? He's that big juice head guy who screams all the time in the videos, like him in the car with no shirt on.
Yes, I know Robert Frank.
Well, he did a thing today, so this is the soundbite. So you ready?
Go for it.
Video this week, but this afternoon my man Seymour Gaines hit me up and he said the world needs to know what Robert Frank thinks about rompers for men. And my first response was, what in the fuck is a romper? And after a quick Google search, I took one look and thought, what the fuck is that shit? All I saw was a bunch of pasty ass bitch boys all lined up with their pretty little haircuts and pathetic physiques, looking like they just got done with an intense game of ping pong. They've never seen the inside of the gym. They don't even know a guy named Jim, let alone go to one.
Hey, Billy, want to go to the country club for some happy hour cocktails? Well, golly jeepers, Todd, that sounds splendid. I'll go home and put on my romper.
Fuck that! Just imagine it's Friday night and you spend every ounce of blood, sweat, and tears into getting the sickest fucking arm pump anyone has ever seen just to show up in the bar in a fucking onesie. You better pack it up, Junior, and head back to the tennis court because you ain't getting no ass tonight, my friend. And by no means am I the Hollywood fashion plate sitting here butt naked as hell wearing a bandana. But let's keep it fucking real. And any friend of mine is a dead friend of mine if I find you wearing a romper this summer. Because I will find you and beat you the fuck down and rip that fucking shit off and shove it right up your fucking...
So, yeah, that's what I wanted to play because did you see that about the rompers? They're gonna bring rompers back. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But you know, I'm actually not a huge fan of Robert Frank, but I agree 100% with him when he says any friend of mine will be a dead friend of mine if I catch you in a romper. I will have to agree with that, and that goes for all my friends as well.
So, what would you do if I came into the gym one day ready to squat wearing a romper? Man?
I would just walk right out.
You would not.
I'm done. I'm done.
So one of my clients hopped in here and she said that's basically how I sound every session. So I guess when I yell at her, that's exactly what I sound like. So for those of you who are interested in personal training, that is how I sound every session, I guess. Pete, say hi to Victoria for me, please.
Welcome, Victoria. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and hopefully you stick around for the rest of the show.
Perfect, man. You know, you're a real crowd pleaser. Let me tell you something, man.
That's what I got to do. That's what I'm here for, right?
All right, let's get to Raj's question. Where is it? All right, so he said basically, in a recent podcast, you mentioned BCAAs might put you out of the fasting state. Can you explain? So do BCAAs have calories?
Great question. And, you know, that depends on what your goal is with fasting. If you're trying to – because some people do fasting to keep themselves in a caloric deficit. Some people do it specifically because they want to go calorie free, so they are in a state of fasting. So if you are doing it for that reason and you're in a fasting state, if you consume enough BCAAs, yes, it will take you out of a fasting state because technically BCAAs, yes, they do have calories. The reason, and just to go into this, the reason they're not on the label is because BCAAs are actually a micronutrient supplement. They're not a macronutrient, so you don't actually have to list them on the label. And I think in some cases it's actually, you know, it's not only is not a requirement, they don't want macronutrient labels listed on micronutrient supplements. So the way we tell you guys to calculate BCAAs if you want to is just count them as your protein source for the day. So if you have 5 grams of BCAAs, that's 5 grams of protein. Now, obviously, there's 4 grams of calories per gram of protein. So that would be the equivalent within BCAAs or regular protein source.
Yeah, so a lot of people say that branched-chain amino acids will actually spike insulin, and that is not true. If you've ever had branched-chain amino acids on an empty stomach and have ever went hypoglycemic, then yes, that would have happened. But I'm sure most of you who've ever had BCAAs on an empty stomach have never had that happen. So you're not going to insulin's not going to rise with that. So how does it put you out of a state of fasting? Is basically, I guess, his question. Did we answer that? Did you answer that?
Yeah, I mean, to be in a fasted state, obviously that means that you haven't eaten any food. There's nothing that you're eating that's consuming calories. So if you have a minimal amount of calories, like if you have 10 grams of BCAAs, let's say, you're probably still in a fasted state. That's not enough for you to be in a fed state, especially depending how long you're in that fasted state. But let's say you have, 20 grams of BCAAs. That would be like the equivalent of having a scoop of protein powder. And that's not fasting. So it depends on the amount. A lot of people who do follow intermittent fasting do recommend having like 10 grams of BCAAs pre-workout, because while fasting does have its benefits, depending on what your goals are, there's definitely an additional benefit for some protein source pre-workout. So usually BCAAs are the best source of that.
All right, man. So I have to laugh right now. So hold on. Let me just hide this comment. So I have to die of hysterics. So I guess my wife hopped in here and I'm going to call her out. So hold on. I got to just clear this quick. So my wife hopped in here and I guess I'll read it. She says, you can't even clean up the mess behind you. Right. So I'm getting yelled at. Just as I get that text, I see this. From Mike Brill, he says, "Don't think we didn't see your dry, cleaned clothes back there, Pete." I was hysterical. It's just like perfect timing.
Well, I don't know what Anthony's doing with the cameras over here, but on my screen, all you should see is like right here. So,
yeah,
he has the ability to get everything else like right now and turn it all on. So my camera was set up nice, where you just see my head and what's behind it, but. Yeah, so this is also the closet where the clothes hang. Yeah.
That's where the women know. That's where all the clothes come out, right, big guy? Yeah, it's really a mess back there. I mean, I really can't talk because I'm a mess back here too. But is
it messy? I don't know. I thought it looked all right, but I wasn't intending the camera to see what's behind me.
Yeah, so my wife hopped in here and came in and called me out, but I'm calling her back out. So ha, Jen. See, this is the power of the internet. All right, so. Let's keep rolling here. So I want to do some trending topics, and we usually pick out a couple of trending topics, just fitness stuff that comes up, things that we see, and I like to talk about it. So actually, I found this status on Facebook, and I thought it was pretty interesting, so I will read it to you guys. Let me just make it a little bit bigger here. The beauty of liveness. Okay, so ensuring maximal muscle growth and knowing your leucine total per meal made easy. One of the biggest mistakes I've made early on as a coach was having my clients' protein too low and then ultimately not getting enough leucine per meal to maximize protein synthesis / muscle growth. For those of you that don't know what that means, simply put, when you eat a meal with protein, it turns into amino acids, one of which is leucine, and leucine turns on the process of protein synthesis / muscle growth. To get a good spike in protein synthesis, around 3 to 3.5 grams of leucine is sufficient. So the problem arises because smaller guys or ladies aren't getting enough leucine per meal at times. Here's an easy way to look at how much leucine per meal almost all meats give you. 1 gram of leucine per about 10 to 15 grams of protein. So chicken, for example, you need 30 to 40 grams of protein to get enough leucine. Whey protein, on the other hand, is very high in leucine, and you could get enough with 20 to 25 grams of protein or 1 scoop. An example of a problem would be a female getting 120 grams of protein a day split into 6 meals. So 20 grams of protein per meal. If she counted all her protein at her meal of, say, chicken and potato, broccoli, she'd be probably getting 15 grams of protein from chicken and 5 grams from her potato and broccoli. So she's only getting about half the protein she needs in this meal to turn on muscle growth. Imagine doing that for multiple times a day for years. So 3 ways to fix this problem. Eat less meals with bigger protein per meal, such as having 4 meals instead of 6. Eat more protein. It's a way too hard to convert fat to muscle. Convert fat. And studies show people eating higher protein don't just get more muscular and leaner. Don't worry about dropping your carbs and fat to make room. It's completely different macro and doesn't act as an energy source. Drink your amino acids throughout the day or take a leucine supplement to add leucine to your diet. So make sure you're maximizing your time muscle building, folks. So basically, this is what we recommend too with branched chain amino acids as well. This is why we take them intra-workout, and you get enough during the day. I mean, I mentioned this so many times. If you're a vegetarian, you definitely need branched chain amino acids. During training and just during the day, you definitely need more leucine content than the average person.
Yeah, and that's why I always say too. People get flexible dieting a little bit confused because, yes, you should be flexible with your diet, but there's definitely more optimal ways to go about your diet. And just hitting your total calories and total macros will help you either lose fat or gain muscle. But there's many things you can maximize, and something like nutrient timing and leucine content per meal and the amount of protein per serving will make the difference, you know? So there's many things within flexible dieting that you can do to enhance the big picture, but you have to have the foundation in place first.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool. So Paolo says, congrats guys, great show. I listened to them all. Well, thank you. And thank you for being a loyal listener. So I just thought that was interesting, man, when I came across that. I really did. I thought that was so hold on, we have a question about it. So leucine doubles your protein intake, was what Joseph says. So leucine is basically what makes up protein. It's in protein. It's it's an amino acid in protein. So the more leucine content you consume, the more of a chance you have for muscle building. Like that post said, you know, you want to make sure you're getting at least 25 grams of protein per sitting, at least, in order to maximize that threshold, you know, at least 6 times a day in that scenario.
Right. So yeah, that's why, you know, not every protein source is created equal. That's why your animal sources of protein are going to be better for muscle building than plant sources, because of the higher leucine content. That's why we always say, like Anthony mentioned before, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan or something like that, and you're not eating these animal sources of protein, you're not getting, even if you're getting the same amount, even if for some reason you're able to get 300 grams of protein in, but you're not getting it from animal sources, you're not going to get enough leucine in. And leucine is important to build muscle. So you're going to have to supplement with BCAAs if you want to compensate for the leucine you're not getting with the animal protein.
Yeah. Yep. Couldn't agree more. But that's why I just take BCAAs. You could take them during the day. You could take them, you know, I usually take them 1 scoop in the morning, 1 scoop before bed, and just 2 scoops intra-workout. Makes it nice and easy.
Yeah, and then if you take BCAA supplements too, then you don't really have to worry about not getting enough leucine in, and then that kind of bridges the gap between, like I said, the flexible dieting and then worrying about, you know, the right protein sources and stuff like that. You could pretty much at that point, if you're consuming enough BCAAs, just eat the protein sources you want throughout the day.
The dogs always manage to bark during the live podcast, man.
They know when it's going on.
They do. My dogs want to hop in here. You hear him?
I hear him.
That's my boxer, Rocky. He sounds so aggressive, and he's the laziest dog ever. The laziest dog ever. Man, I got a knot today from training. My squats, it's killing me. Every time I turn my neck.
Well, you know, that's going to happen when you put 500 pounds on your back like 3 times a week for months on end.
I know, man. One more heavy week this week, and then next week is a light week, and then my meet next Saturday. I'm super excited for that. Can't wait for it to be over, and then get ready for nationals. So it's 500 pounds going my back more.
Exactly. 600 then at that point, right?
Yeah, you're right. What's up with you, man? We didn't even talk a little bit.
Yeah, man, same thing. I mean, I see you every day, so it's like we don't have to really get on here and catch up since we've been
all right, fuck you then. All right, no problem, man. I'll just make this about me. Here, look, now no one sees you. All right, guys. Well, this is the Anthony show now. See, I can do things like this now. This is good. All right, so I'll move on here. We'll talk about this other thing that I wanted to talk about. So your girlfriend says, Molly hears the dog. She's freaking out.
Oh, yeah. So my dog hears your dog because of the live feed. So your dog's got to get quiet because my dog is freaking out. Can you calm your dog down, please?
So it's like, dude, it's like, was that Inception? When, like, you know, the dogs are talking to each other through the live
I don't
podcast.
think they did that in Inception, but
well, I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean. All right, so I want to talk about this other thing that I came across. So King Arthur, the new movie that's coming out, the guy Charlie Hunnam. Hunnam? How do you say his name?
I have no idea.
Whatever, Charlie Hunnam. So
I know who he is, but yeah.
He gained 20 to 25 pounds for that role to play King Arthur. And I found his exact workout. Now, he says he didn't want to get too bulky. So what he did was, this was his workout every day. He did 1,000 push-ups. He did 100 pull-ups, 100 to 300 dips, and 1,000 non-weighted squats. And he was able to add 25 pounds just doing that. And yeah, I don't know what your take is on that. I mean, I know what I have to say about this, but basically he said he didn't want to get too bulky, so that's what he did.
Well, yeah. My take is that article is bullshit.
No, it was actually him talking. I wish I had the sound clip. This is the problem, is I can't save these things, but it was actually him talking
that's like
about
Hugh Jackman saying that he got in shape for Wolverine by doing intermittent fasting. Like, you know, there was something else going on that he's not talking about. That's what he's saying. So if he says he was doing body weight squats and he gained 25 pounds of muscle, then anybody who's ever touched a weight before knows that it's not easy to put 25 pounds of muscle on. And even with heavy weights, it's not easy. So body weight stuff, maybe that's what he was doing, but there was probably something else he was doing that he's not talking about.
Oh, like the test?
It could be anything.
Some D-ball?
I mean, generally, if people are not talking about certain things, that's what it is.
Yes, Carson Floor knows, man. Carson Floor knows. The celebrity doctor.
I haven't seen him, though. Did he actually get bigger where he actually is physically muscular for that role?
Yeah, he looks actually good. So basically,
he might have been, yeah.
I'll go fuck myself, Pete. Just cut me right off, no problem.
Or you can let me finish, and then you could speak.
Maybe you should shut up earlier.
That wouldn't be cutting you off because I would just be finished.
Shut up earlier. So, yeah, basically, I think that this is good that he did this instead of nothing, and it just goes to show you could do something instead of nothing. But, I think that he definitely worked out with weights. There's no way he accomplished that. Well, actually, it depends. He didn't say Daniel Pearl says 25 pounds of muscle, so he even knows about the Hollywood doctor.
Right. But, yeah. If it's 25 pounds of muscle, I mean, there's just no way he put it on doing body weight squats, and
1,000 non-weighted squats.
It doesn't matter how many they are,
but it depends. If he bulked up to 160 pounds, I mean, he doesn't look that big, I wish I could pull. Can I pull up a bit? Let me see if I can pull it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. I don't even know what his appearance was for that role. I'm sure he's not an overly muscular guy, but 25 pounds of muscle is still 25 pounds of muscle. That's a lot of tissue,
Man, I need a new phone. My phone fucking sucks, and I just don't feel like buying a new one. Charlie Hunnam. What's his name? Charlie Sheen pops up right away. Charlie Hunnam. King Arthur. Let's see if I can pull this up quick. Don't you have like the 8+?
I got a 7+.
Yeah, you should be the one pulling this stuff up, man. Come on. My phone is so slow. Let's see if I can find that picture of his body. There's a shirt on most of these. Oh, here you go. So this is kind of, if it loads. So it's kind of just to give you guys an idea. Let's see. Whoop.
Yeah, I mean, he's more muscular there than he normally is, but there's not. I don't think there's anything.
It's too about 180 there.
About that.
170, 180.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what he did? Like I said, generally when people in the media tell you something like random like that, that just doesn't make any sense. A lot of times it's...
Yeah, so Joe King writes, look how small he was for the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, he was much smaller, much skinnier.
Let me see if I can type that in quick.
A lot leaner too. So he definitely bulked up. He definitely ate a lot of food to bulk up for that role. But like you said, it has to be more than just doing body weight squats and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, he really was small. And you really can't tell from this picture, but
yeah, he was a skinny guy. Probably never touched a weight in his life.
Yeah, he's still, apparently, according to him, he didn't touch weights. But again, I guess that goes to show you that the diet really is the most important factor. If he wanted to gain weight, that's, he just ate and it just came on,
Right.
So, I don't know. All right, man, let's get to I have a listener question here, and I thought this was a cool listener question. So if you guys have a question, you could ask it in the chat below or head on over to NewYorkMuscleRadio.com/listener question. And this is for people who are listening to this after this time. If you're listening to this on iTunes or, on YouTube, you can head on over there, NewYorkMuscleRadio.com/listener question. So today's question was submitted by Alan, and he says, he has an idea for the After Hours show. The difference between the Get Jacked program, which is the free program you guys can pick up if you head on over to NewYorkMuscleRadio.com/getjacked, or the New York Strong program. Do you want to take it or do you want me to take it?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, the similarities, both of them, they're two programs that we both created. They're both probably the best programs that you could download online. And I'm not just saying that because they're ours, but because there's actually a concept behind them and there's actually a method to it. It's not just a general training program. They all have progression built into them. The Get Jacked program is suited for basically anybody who wants to get bigger, stronger, perform harder. The Strong program is more specific to strength. So if you're a power lifter or in general, if you just want to be very strong, that one's going to be more specific to strength. But both of them are going to get you bigger. They're both going to get you stronger. It just depends on what your actual goal is. The Get Jacked program is completely free. That doesn't mean that it's not as good as a Strong program. It just means that we actually used that. We created that as a gift for you guys. But as far as the results you'll get from either of them, they're both top notch. So if you're not sure which one to go with, The Get Jacked is a little more well-rounded, but if you're really trying to just focus on getting stronger, honestly, there's no program better for putting on strength than the New York Strong program. And that's basically the way Anthony trains on a regular basis. My training's a little bit
program.
A little bit
my exact program.
Get Jacked. So I mean, they're kind of like my program and Anthony's program. So if you want to know how we train, take a look at both of those programs and give it a try.
Yeah, so you guys see, we give away Pete's program because it's not that important.
Yeah, I mean, for the guys who just want to, do some barbell curls and dumbbell curls.
Yeah, if you just want to do barbell curls 3 times a week.
Yeah, that's actually the arm program. So if you guys do want to get the biceps, you got to do the arm experiment, and that's where the real deal is.
I actually think that the ARM program is probably one of our best-selling programs, man. I think that's one of our best-selling programs.
It is. Yes, it's definitely one of the best ones. And, that's good because there's a lot of other ARM programs I see around on the internet lately, and they're just full of fluff work, It's very easy to put, cool exercise together for arms and say, oh, this works. But, we put together a routine that'll actually get you the results.
Yeah, and right now, guys, if you're interested in picking up that program, just head on over to NewYorkMuscleRadio.com. Click on the program of your choice. Get both. It's 30% off. The Dirty 30. Just use that coupon code at checkout for my birthday. It's my gift to you guys. So Kalina says, what's up, guys? Nice to see those handsome faces again. Well, she's used to listening, so now it's, I guess, weird for her to see our faces this time, right, big guy? Wait, now, hold on. Now, Kalina, look at his dirty room.
He's exposing the whole room here, because when I had the camera set up, it was just framed right here like this. But now he can show the whole room. And I got to be careful with this guy in control.
Yeah, come on, man. You know how it goes. So what else is going on, man? How's everything else with you? I know we always say that, but what else?
Everything's going good, man. I'm still bulking, still trying to gain weight. I'm hitting that point in my diet, and everybody goes through this where you kind of push the calories high enough to the point where your body just says, listen, man, I don't care how much you eat. We're not going to gain weight anymore. Like, it's kind of like tapping out.
Yeah.
So the next thing you do at that point is you just got to push a lot harder. My metabolism is very adaptive. So for me, it almost, when I get past a certain weight, and for me, it's like around 190, it just adapts to whatever I throw at it. I went out for sushi 2 days ago, all you can eat. Generally, if I do that on top of my normal diet, I'll hold a little water, I'll bloat a little bit. My body's just soaking it all up. And, I woke up a pound lighter the next day. So I'm struggling to even keep the weight on. But, that comes with the territory of bulking. And I tell everybody too, we have some clients that are dieting right now. And, they see me, I'm pretty active on Instagram with posting my meals and stuff like that. They say, Pete, you're killing me, with all the good food you're eating. And I tell them, listen, at this point, it's work. I'm forcing this food down. I'm not even enjoying some of it at this point. It's a job. So I'm, the grass is always greener. I'm looking forward to dieting soon.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think as we get, I don't know, as you get older, your kind of taste buds change a little bit. I'm kind of getting sick of all you can eat sushi, man. I don't know. I really kind of get sick of it. I can't do it anymore. It's just, I always regret it the next day. My stomach feels like shit the next day. I don't know. And then it always messes up my body. Always. I always feel so much fatter and flatter. Although today I was leaner. I don't know how that was possible, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I just like eating my own regular foods, prepared meals. Everybody has their go-to foods. I just like eating my go-to foods,
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing for a lot of people. Just figure out what your go-to foods are, what your body responds to well, what you feel good eating, because there's certain foods where, for me, I could eat a lot of bread and I feel great on bread. There's other people you touch bread and they're like, oh, I get bloated, I get indigestion, I feel full, so you got to find those foods that you feel good on and then stick to those, but then have the meals that you want to have to enjoy yourself.
You know what it is, as a society, we're used to going out to eat as an enjoyment. It's like a practice. Right. You're going out to eat, you're bored, you go out to eat with your friends, and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But for us, for someone who lifts and cares about their body, it's almost it's counterproductive when you do that, obviously. But, for me, is it worth it for me to go for sushi anymore just based on how I feel after? I like sushi, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm going to quit sushi, but if I get it, I'm probably just going to go out and just get 1 or 2 rolls, 3 rolls maybe, and that's it. And for the all you can eat stuff, I don't think it's worth it anymore. I put so much effort into it, and like you said, your go-to foods. I know my go-to food, so why change that? It's going out to eat is just an event for people. My birthday's coming up, and I know this weekend we're going to probably go somewhere to eat. And I get it. It's my birthday, whatever. But like, I'd be comfortable eating at home too, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know what it is too? You mentioned that like you know, if you're going to go out to eat, you might have like 1 or 2 rolls. That's how most people eat sushi. You know, that's how most people do it. Me and you, we go there and we order like 30 rolls and then we say, all right, bring it halfway through. All right, bring the same thing out again. And then we force feed ourselves to finish it. So yeah, I mean, there's a limit to how much you probably should have.
And they screw you all you can eat too, man. They give you that piece of paper that tells you what you can check, what you eat, whatever you want. You check off what you want. You check off all these things. And they bring you like 5 rolls, and then you don't even know what you're getting.
And when I start picking out the right rolls, you're like, don't even bother. Just check off any of them. They're gonna bring out whatever you want anyway.
So Rebecca says, social life is rough if all you can do is eat out. It's hard to change society. How about everyone meet up for a green belt walk? I agree. You know, she says, or heck, pump iron. And I agree. I agree. You know, like for me, when 2 years ago, is it 2 years ago now, that birthday? When we had the big barbecue?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago, we had the big barbecue. That was fun. We worked out for like 4 hours. That's a typical day, but.
Yes, we did arms and we had barbecue turkey burgers and stuff like that, man. That's perfect, you know? That's a nice social event for me. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I don't know, but not everyone's different, man. But it's sad, you know, it's hard because, you know, you have people, you know, I have some clients who come to me and then they're like, you know, oh, I did so bad this weekend. It's so hard for me to resist the temptation. And I get it. I totally understand. But if you really want to get in shape, you have to you got to do it. That's it. You can't half-ass this, you know?
Yeah. And especially just commit the time frame that you need to get yourself in shape. Because so many people draw out a diet phase that they could probably take care of and just handle within like 12 weeks, but then they draw it out to like 2 years. You know, they're in a chronic state of dieting for 2 years straight because they go in and out of dieting. They do good for like 2 or 3 weeks, then they have 2 or 3 bad weeks, and then it just repeats itself and it extends. When if they were to just commit to 12 weeks, okay, listen, maybe I have to be a little antisocial, maybe I have to, you know, sacrifice a few things, but I'm going to get it done, then a lot of times you could just do that the 12 weeks and then move on with your life. You know, that's something that a lot of people lack. And it's not easy to do, but definitely if you want to just like, if you have weight to lose or if you have goals to reach, focus on hitting them and kind of move on. Even if you have to spend a little time where you're going to sacrifice things, it's better off than spending 2 years trying to do it, you know?
Yeah, one of my clients, his goal was to get down to 185 and he got to like 190. And then he started like going off the board. I'm like, dude, you're fucking right there. Just finish. Just get to 185 and then we can reverse that and you'll be good.
Yeah, I mean,
actually, wait, hold on, Pete. So that's it. So Rebecca said, see, for my birthday party, I had a big workout party. It was a blast. So Kalina responded to that. Rebecca, if I did that, I'd be celebrating alone.
Well, you know what the funny thing, a lot of people too, like even me and you, like, we don't have a ton of friends that are like all involved in fitness. I mean, we have a bunch, but like it's not like all our friends. We have plenty of friends that could kind of either care less about fitness.
Listen, if they don't lift, they're not for me. No friend.
Well, that's why you get like 2 friends.
Yeah, that's why you're my only friend. Nah, my best friend actually is horribly overweight and has a lot of things wrong with him because of his weight. So if he's listening, wake up, man. And I always yell at him all the time, but he's my best friend. So this is what we do.
But that's what I'm saying. Not everybody loves it. Not everybody can relate. So you know, you do have friends and family that just live the normal lifestyle, and you know, you got to find balance. But like I said, sometimes it's all right to sacrifice it for a little bit of time and just reach your goals and then move on with your life.
What the hell was I going to say? I lost my train of thought, man. It must be because I'm getting old. So these comments keep popping up. So hold on. So Marcy wants to know, do we still sell the shirts? And she's talking about these shirts. And they'll be back. We took them out of the store for a little bit, but they will be back. Have you ever thought about it? I remember my train of thought now. Have you ever thought about what it would be like if you didn't work out anymore?
I don't know what I would do myself.
Just didn't work out, period. Like,
I don't know what I would do myself. You know, I always think about this. I think about people that have like careers that are their lives. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like teachers or, you know, people with certain careers that, you know, people work in hospital, doctors, stuff like that.
Well,
like,
man, hold on. All those people still work out.
Finish my sentence.
But because you're judging people. Just because they have normal jobs doesn't mean they don't work out. So I know plenty of teachers who work out, who enjoy exercise. I know we have our New York Muscle Radio doctor, Austin Marshall, who, you know, works out too.
Right, but I know more doctors that don't work out than do. But, to
Yes.
my point, what I'm trying to say is there's people that have careers and their career is their life. And it doesn't have to be. I know plenty of people who have careers and then their life starts after they leave work. You know what I mean? But I think that a lot of people that do kind of go into a career and make it their lives, like they don't do many things that they thoroughly enjoy in life and they put their career first. And I think for me, fitness is so important that if I were to just not have it, I'd be one of those people where I'd have to just kind of bury myself in my career, whatever that might be. I mean, fitness is my career. So
Well,
if
let's
I were
pretend fitness wasn't in your life right now.
that's
would
what
you
I'm
do?
saying. I'd have to go find a different career and bury myself in it, which I'd probably
Which
be
would be what?
miserable.
Which
I
would
have
be
no
what?
idea. I wouldn't even know, to be honest, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
You don't have any clue. What are your other interests beside lifting? I know you're just a typical meathead and that's all you do is just weights and dates. But aside from that, what else?
Man,
There's got to be something else. Would you be a dating guru?
a dating guru?
Yeah, you'd be a dating
What
guru.
kind
You'd
of
be one of those
dating
guys
guru?
online that say, "Oh, I can get you a date like Hitch." Remember that movie Hitch?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be one of those guys. I'd run the sponsored Facebook ads, and I'd tell everybody, listen, put your email right here, and I'll give you my 5 tips to 5 dates a week.
What
And
would
then
you do?
I'd-
Seriously,
and then
man.
I'd
You
teach
have no other interests?
Nothing
You
anywhere,
gotta have something.
dude. Nothing anywhere near fitness. I've been doing this since I'm 14 years old.
No, I get that.
Nonstop.
I get how it's your whole life now, but there's got to be something else.
No, there's nothing else, man. I'm one dimensional.
That's
this is me, man. You take fitness away from me, I don't know what I have.
Nothing. You take those biceps off, you'd be nothing.
I get nothing else, man. This is all I have to give, and I'm trying to share it with all you guys here because this is all I got.
It's a shame, man. Hey, listen, you got to find something else because what happens if you have no other interest in anything at all?
What do you think, man? You my
I
friend.
don't know. I know. Yeah, definitely not. Come on, there's got to be something. Maybe you never told me. I don't know. I never asked you that question.
Not really, man. This is what I got. This is what I do. I lift shit.
But anyway, get back to the point at hand.
No, I mean, I basically said it. I would probably just end up being one of those other people and kind of bury myself in my career. And I think a lot of people do that, like I said, because they don't have things in their life that they just thoroughly enjoy doing, things that they're passionate about. Like if you told me, listen, you have enough, you have enough money to support yourself and do whatever you want with this life, I'd probably still just lift weights all day, eat good food. And the only other thing I would like to probably do that I'm not doing currently is I would like to travel more. That's probably about it. I would think I would be pretty fulfilled with that.
So maybe you would be a travel agent. Who knows?
I don't know, I got to travel first, right? But
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like there's anything else that I like. If I weren't committed to doing anything else in my life that I feel like I'm missing out on, that would probably be the only addition to that.
So I'm changing the subject now totally because I wanted to tell everyone about what we talked about today. And I'm thinking about doing an experiment with keto. Now, I'm not exactly 100% sure what it would be, but I'm thinking about doing a keto-only diet, but doing it correctly, not doing what these other people say is keto diet. So basically doing very high fat, low protein, low carb for 12 to 16 weeks and just see what happens. Try to be in a caloric surplus this time, so try to gain muscle and just see what happens. I'm really thinking about doing this. I'm just so curious about it. I've been seeing it more and more, and I've never actually done a full-on keto diet. So this is the only way to do it is to experiment and try. So I'm just curious if anybody who's listening to this has any experience with keto, if they could maybe share some of their stories. Because I'm thinking about doing it. I want to try to do it correctly. I'm going to get one of those keto monitor things, do either my blood or my urine a couple times a day to make sure I'm in ketosis. I'm just really curious what would happen if I did it, how it would feel, because I know Dominic D'Agostino, who's basically the guy who's been forefronting all this research on it. He's 100% keto, exactly what I said, very low protein, very low carb, high fat, and he's still super strong. It's just a monster in the gym. There's a lot of positive health benefits to doing keto. So I'm just curious. I want to try it for myself. Like I said, I never did a keto diet. I have for a few, but nothing where I could actually take away anything from it. So I'm thinking about doing this and kind of documenting my journey on it. I think it would be cool, but it's going to have to wait until after nationals because I can't be worried about that right now. I have to focus on nationals. So it would be after nationals. It'd be in October when I would start this. So I'm just curious if anybody's had any keto, any things with keto, any issues, anything to watch out for, anything I should look out for, any resources, because again, I'm just trying to do this correctly, and I really want to get a lot of feedback. I plan on taking before pictures, after pictures. I'm just curious. We're going to do this in New York Muscle Radio fashion to really try to see if it actually works. But I'm kind of excited for it. Although we were talking about it today, and I'm like, I don't know about this. This is going to be work. So basically, keto,
it really
sounds
is
fun.
work, yeah.
You're just going to have to consume fat, but it's not fun. So it's like, what do you consume fat? I'm literally going to be eating
what
butter.
it is? Keto is definitely a good tool for weight loss, and it depends on what your goal is. I mean, if you're running keto and you're trying to get leaner, like it's not really that hard because since you're cutting out carbs, and if you're doing real nutritional keto, you're not consuming a lot of protein. So you're basically relying on just fat for a fuel source. There's not that many foods that are good fat sources that you're going to want to eat over and over again. I mean, people love peanut butter, but like how much can you eat in a day if you're trying to maintain your weight? You're eating like 3,000 calories. If you're eating 3,000 calories from peanut butter and avocado, it's going to get disgusting after a while.
Well, not for nothing, but it's easy to have peanut butter. One serving of peanut butter is very easy to consume, but it's like I'd probably literally have to eat like half a jar a day.
That's what I'm saying. Eventually, it's going to get to be a point where you're not going to want peanut butter anymore, and then
but how boring is that too to eat? Like, people just eat peanut butter, but who just eats peanut butter? Like usually you put peanut butter on bread, peanut butter and jelly. I won't be able to do that, and I'm a carb guy, so for me this is going to be a little tough. But I'm just curious what would happen, and this is why we always tell you guys you have to experiment with your body because you never know, what you may stumble upon. Who knows? Maybe this will work well for me, and I'll never need carbs again. I would hope that's not the case because I do like carbs. But again, we talked about adding in the carbs twice a week, right? We said that we would do the carbs twice a week, refeed days pretty much twice a week.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the keto diet, especially like I said, a true keto diet is not high in protein and obviously it's low in carbs. So that's great if you're trying to lose weight, but for the average person, a powerlifter or a bodybuilder who has a lot of muscle and is trying to maintain or even grow muscle, their requirements are going to be a little bit different, and carbs are definitely going to be important. And, overall calories, you're going to need to keep your calories at a certain level. So doing some type of cyclical ketogenic diet will be more beneficial than just going strict keto, no refeeds or anything like that. So especially I would recommend carbing up at least twice a week. Staying in ketosis and then having a couple of days where you do introduce those carbs again could definitely help preserve some muscle.
I missed all these comments here. So Joshua has just hopped in on you, man. Spraying 24/7. That's right. That's what Pete would be doing.
That is true. In addition to lifting weights and traveling, spraying 24/7.
Yeah, according to his girlfriend, he'd hang out with his dog all day long.
That's what I would do. Yes, afterwards.
Robert David says, "I'm 50 and I still do weights dates, and shakes. So good for him. Good for him." So Tony Kringsdad, shout out to him. He's getting really lean, this guy. He says, caffeine spotted at Anthony's house. And yes, there's plenty of caffeine in this house. So Rebecca says, keto won't be that miserable. You know better than that, Anthony. Don't even waste your gains on that. I know, but I can't. I want to try it, She says it messed up her. My CrossFit friend did keto and messed up her body so bad. But a lot of people don't know how to do keto correctly. That's the issue.
Yeah, a lot of people do low carb and call it keto. There is a difference. I mean, I'm not a fan of either of them, to be totally honest with you. I mean, I think if you're going to run an experiment, it's an experiment, whatever. I wouldn't do it myself, but that's just me.
That's the only way I'm going to know it works. So, and like I said, I'm going to use the keto sticks. I'm going to use either the urine one or the blood pricking thing, and that's the only way I'm going to know if it works. So Robert says, I'm doing a cycle keto diet and found it works. The only diet I found works for me, but your flexible diet seems more fun. So I guess you could rant on that, Pete. How will you survive without bagels?
Flexible dieting is definitely more fun. That's why I do it,
So Marcy wants to know, when you're dieting or even when you're adding in calories, how do you know whether to decrease the carbs or the fats? And that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. That's individual for everybody. There's so many factors that go into that. Whether you're a male or female is going to be different. Generally, men are going to have a much higher fat content than females. So you could generally pull fat from men a little bit more than you can from women. But then again, there's a certain lower end that you don't want to go underneath for men and women. So like for a man, like a 200-pound male, if he's eating 100 grams of fat in a day, and, we have calories that we need to pull, we can pull them down comfortably. Like I wouldn't feel too bad about pulling them down to like 60 or 70 grams, but I wouldn't want to pull it beyond there. And then if he has carbs to pull from, I would pull those first. so we don't go any lower with fat. Same thing with women, but the lower limit's going to be a lot lower, like 30, 35 grams maybe. So that's a factor as well. And the total calories is going to be an important thing. You don't want fat too low because then it's going to start messing with your hormones. And if you still have carbs to pull from, then you'd pull carbs. But vice versa, if you go too low with the carbs, you're going to start flattening out. You're gonna slow down the metabolism a little bit because you're not going to have as much of a leptin response from the carb intake. And if you have fat that's high, you can pull that down so you don't have to do that. So it really depends. You have to look at what you're consuming and what we can pull with without sacrificing anything. But there's always going to be a decision where you're going to have to weigh the pros and cons.
Of course. And it depends also what the person responds better to. You can always tell if someone's more of a carb person, you're going to add more carbs in first versus fat. So Marcy also says, I did keto the wrong way and you guys had to fix me. And that's true. So this is why when I do this experiment, I'm going to be in a surplus. I want to be able to gain lean muscle mass without adding on fat. Supposedly you could do that with keto. So it's the only way I'm going to know is to try. So I'm very nervous about it because I can tolerate carbs really well right now. I'm nervous about dropping my carbs down all the way. I'd have to take a long time to reverse my carb intake back up in order to not ruin my metabolism. Yeah. But again, it's just an experiment. So this is how I'm going to know about it. And because keto does work for certain people. So there's got to be a reason why. I have to try. This is the only way I have to try. But again, this won't be until October, and we'll let you guys know the details of that. And like I said, I'm planning on journaling this, so it's be a really live experiment. So Kalina says, while you're live, can you explain RPE training in more detail? I've done it to measure my HIIT or cardio, but never had that in mind for training. How does it factor into reps and sets?
That's a great question. So RPE, basically, that's rate of perceived exertion. So when it comes to lifting, every day you go in the gym, the amount of energy you have, your strength is going to change a little bit from day to day. A day that you're running on low sleep, you're more stressed. Your strength is not going to be there compared to a day where you're rested, you're fresh, you're in a good mood, everything like that. So let's just say that on a typical day, you can squat 135 for 10 reps. That's your 10 rep max. That's on a fresh day. That's when you're good. That's when you're optimal. That's your best. The next day, let's just say, you might be tired, sore, you didn't sleep. That day, your 10 rep max might be like 125, but that's just that day. It doesn't mean that you actually got weaker. Your performance just dropped down. Now, if you're using RPEs in training, basically what you're going to do is you're going to use the correct load for that day to get the same training effect. So on one day, if it's, let's just say that the goal is train with a set of 10 to an RPE of 9. Right? The RPE of 9 would be meaning that it's a 9 out of a 10. So you have one more rep in the tank. So if we say go in the gym and we do one set of 10 with a 9 RPE, on your perfect day, that might be 135 for 9 reps, let's say. The next day, or just another random day where you're not as strong, you're a little tired, you might only be able to do that with 125. So you're training with the same RPE, you're getting the same training effect based on that day. So that's a much more easy way to gauge your training progress from day to day versus just having, a goal, okay, do 75% for X amount of reps. Because day to day, that 75% might not be the same for you. So there's pros and cons of doing it both ways. I know Anthony likes kind of just going sets and percentages for most of the time. I do like RPE a little bit more because I like to go based on how I feel each day. But either way, the goal is just to accumulate volume with a certain load. RPE is just another tool to do that. And, you use RPE just based on a system of how many reps you have in the tank. So a 10 would be, if you said RPE 10, that basically means you didn't have any left in the tank. A 9 means you might have had 1 left in the tank. An 8 might have been 2. So that's how you go by that.
Yeah. I think it's a complicated system for what it is. I mean, you could just use percentages and be the same thing. So technically a 9 RPE is 90%, give or take. Nah, not really. I'm lying because 9 could be. It's really confusing, the actual breakdown.
It's a little bit different for everybody. It's different for movements too. Yeah. Like a squat RPE of a 9 could be very far away from your true 1 rep max. And like a bench, it might actually be closer for a 9, or vice versa for certain people actually. But so it is different for everything. The key with that is it's really getting you in tune with your body, so what's really a maximal weight or a sub-maximal for you. Because like I said, your strength can change day to day.
Yeah. Yeah, again, just don't make training that complicated either. You know, sometimes all these new systems that pop up and all these ways to do things, they just complicate the process a little bit more. Try to just stick whatever works with you. And, you know, if percentages work better, then use that. If RPE works better, then use that. You know, there's no real set in stone answer for a lot of these things. What's the matter, man? You getting parched?
I actually am, man. I'm sitting here and I have no water left in the water bottle, and I'm, you know, my throat. I need some water here. It's all that protein, man. I need extra fluids to just keep myself hydrated here.
Why don't you comment and have your girlfriend go get you a water bottle?
Oh, come on. I'm not like that, man. That's something you would do, isn't it?
Fucking lies, man. Lies. Where is she? Let her comment on here a little bit more and tell the truth about you. Maybe we could get her to pull the truth out about Pikacharian.
I think she tuned out already. She got a little bored with this RPE talk and peanut butter and keto shit. If we were talking about ice cream and Halo Top and Arctic Zero, she might be chiming in over here.
Yeah, I guess. So we have another question. Do powerlifting organizations post what women at different weights lift at meets? I'm throwing around the idea of doing a meet, but I don't know where I stand. Yeah, you can actually, if you go on the USAPL website and click on results, I'm not sure how you get there. If you click on like lifting database or results, you can find it on their website, and you can literally pull up a meet, and you'll be able to see what happened. And you just look for your weight, you know, your weight class, and that's where you go. So Elena says kinda. So kinda meaning she kinda wants to bring you a water bottle, or she kinda tuned you out.
She said she kinda wanted to talk about Halo Top and Arctic Zero.
Oh, is that her thing?
Yeah, I think that's what that kind of is.
I never had Halo Top, but I don't know. I like my regular ice cream, man. If you can't fit in the Breyers slow churned ice cream, you know, the lower one that has like 5 or 4 grams of fat a serving, you know, there's no sense. Everybody's getting excited about Halo Top. And she says kind of bored.
Yeah, I'm surprised she made it this far. I give her credit.
See? My wife already is sleeping. She tuned out a while ago. She just looked at the background and got mad at me and just went to bed. Do you ever try Halo Top?
Yeah, it's all right. I'm not a fan of consistency, but you know the flavorings are right. But it just when you put it in your mouth and swallow, it's not like ice cream. It tastes like a sponge.
What are you putting in your mouth, Pete?
Why are you so perverted, man?
What are you putting in your mouth, man?
What do you put in your mouth?
Here we go. We talked about ice cream. Look at all these comments. I can talk about ice cream.
Listen, how to get people engaged. Talk about ice cream.
Look at this. Kalina eat enlightened. And Elena says, I'm just kidding, though, but I love ice cream. So you see that ice cream? Ice cream is the talk, man. Ice cream is the talk.
Guys, screw all this fitness stuff. We're just going to talk about ice cream every week.
Podcast?
Ice cream. We're just doing ice cream daily.
Kalina just said we all woke up now. Rebecca says, Halo Top is the Mac Daddy salted caramel. You know what, though, man? If I do the keto experiment, no ice cream for me. This is what I mean. It's really bad. It sounds like it'd be cool, but it's not good.
Just do the ice cream diet. You don't need a keto diet. Yeah, how about this? I'm going to go on a new experiment. I'm going to do the ice cream diet, guys. And then I'm going to put out the ice cream diet for you guys.
I don't know. See, I'm really thinking about this whole keto thing, man. Well, I'm really going to be screwed for 12 to 16 weeks. I don't know if I can make it. I mean, I'll be able to make it if I put my head to it, but I don't know, man. That's going to be tough. What the hell do I eat?
Well, what are you trying to accomplish?
Like I said, I want to see if it actually works. I want to see what happens to be in actual ketosis. And I want to just experiment with it right. I want to put all the myths to death. You know, we talk about these things on the podcast. I can't really feel confident talking about it if I don't have the 100% experience behind it. And I want to see if I could put on lean mass, you know, and do it and see what would happen. If I could, then I could debunk this and this and this and see what happens. It's gonna suck though, man. Really though, no ice cream. What the hell would I eat?
Well, you only have a few choices. You got avocados, you have eggs, you have cheese, you have butter. You have peanut butter,
fatty meat, which is fine, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's about it.
Robert says you'd have to watch the cholesterol levels. Well, usually they say with keto diets, you won't have to watch the cholesterol. All the health markers go down with it, supposedly. So that's what I'm saying. So these are all things that we can experiment with. Get the New York Muscle Radio doctor in here, and Elena wants to know, is butter a carb?
She knows butter's not a carb.
Kalina says, no ice cream, no froyo, no way. Froyo is your thing, man. All right, don't answer to that. Okay, man. Yeah, who do you think I was talking to?
I don't, I don't know.
Oh,
Is
so
froyo
you're
my
the
thing?
person-
I didn't even know froyo was my thing. Yeah, I guess it is, huh?
I'm asking you, isn't it your thing? You're the one who like really every time I see it, it's like
yeah, that's
froyo.
my preferred out of ice cream. You know, I go for froyo first generally. Yeah. I like
So Marcy
froyo.
says it's so cool how you guys talk about all this stuff. I need a friend like you guys who can talk fitness with me all day, and we can go. Let me tell you, we can go.
Yeah, this is the shit we talk about on
My
our free
friends-
time. We're
she
not
says
just
my
talking
friend-
about this on the podcast. This is a normal conversation.
She said
We
my
actually,
friends could care less about my calories.
yeah, we had
And
this
yes.
conversation earlier today. We're just continuing it.
Yeah. So if anybody has any other questions, and Robert says his cholesterol went up, but he's prone to that. Well, you know, it could also be your calories too. If you're not in a caloric deficit, you know, you're not going to lose any weight. So that could be why that went up as well. These are fun, man, when we do these. They definitely get off the cuff, but they're definitely fun. So Robert says he did 75% fat, 20% protein, and 5% carbs, which is right. So I had to pull this up. So Elena says to Marcy, trust me, it gets old. Because Marcy says that she wished she had friends to talk fitness all day. We should just get, hey, Skip LaCour's on here. What's up, Skip?
Hey, Skip. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So back to Elena. Elena, why don't you come in here? We'll kick him off. We'll talk to you. We want to know about Pete. He doesn't come in. Look how nervous he's getting. He's scratching his head. He doesn't know what to do. Look. Look how nervous he is. Look how nervous. Why are you so nervous, man?
I'm not nervous.
We should get her in here. Elena, why don't you come in and join us? Don't be shy.
I hear someone coming in. I hear someone moving in the other room.
So Nia says, agreed, Marcy. Mine and Kalina's texts have been 90% about food. Yeah, I don't know. People. Oh my God! Now everyone's talking about being in a group message about food. People love food, man. See, this is what we were talking about earlier. People just love food. They live to eat, not eat to live. Oh, there's Elena. Elena's coming in.
Somebody just came in. Oh, my dog is here.
Oh, here he is.
She wanted me to bring the dog in.
What happened? Molly was getting annoying to her?
Yeah, so I'm doing daddy duty now, right?
Look at Molly. She's so cute, man. I wish I could put my dog on my lap like that.
This is my dog, guys. This is Molly. She eats the same diet I do, just so you guys know.
Yeah, tell everybody. See half-assing a story, man. Tell everyone what she does.
So every time I make a pound of ground beef, Molly gets, sorry, she's messing up my mic now. She gets 2 ounces of ground beef and I get the other, I get the rest of it. And, so we share the ground beef except for she only gets 2 ounces.
Tell everybody the story when she ate the, what was it, the antacids?
She ate a whole pack of Gas X. And I thought she was gonna explode. Like, when the birds eat the what's that, like, urban
rice?
legend when the birds eat
rice?
It's rice, but or Pop Rocks. You ever seen
Pop
that?
Rocks, yeah.
I thought she was gonna explode like the birds who eat the Pop Rocks, but she was all right. She ate a whole pack of Gas X though, and now she's stepping on my wire. Stop, Molly.
This is what happens on a live podcast, guys. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning into this After Hours podcast episode number 2. We really appreciate you guys joining us live. Again, this will be on the iTunes feed. If you haven't already, head on over to NewYorkMuscleRadio.com/getjacked for the free 12-week program. It's our gift to you guys. And remember, for my Dirty 30, use that coupon code Dirty 30 at checkout. 30% off the entire New York Muscle Radio store. Everything. All right, man. I guess it's your turn.
All right, guys. Pete and Anthony, New York Muscle Radio, After Hours, and we're out.